Ladies and gentlemen, good to see you all here tonight. I know it hasn't been the greatest of evenings in this wonderful harbour city of ours, but you're dry, you're warm. I'm sure you're being very well looked after with the wonderful hospitality here tonight, and please do continue to enjoy that and the wonderful company as well, because team, this is a night to meet the neighbours. These are the people you're going to be sharing this wonderful establishment with. Team, if I could just have your attention out the back. We are now moving into the formal part of our evening. So if I could just have your attention, that'd be fantastic, because this is your night. This is your night to learn more about this journey, this place that you're going to be calling home not too far down the line in a wonderful part of this incredible city that we do call home. And we are going to also give you the chance to listen and hear firsthand from the people with the vision, the people who are going to be building it, the people who have designed it, and one bloke who has had a lot of fun selling them as well, because, folks, congratulations. You are part of one incredible event last weekend. I'm sure you've seen it online. You've read the articles. Well done. You've beaten the rush. All 59 apartments are, as they say in the classic, spoken for at Balfour Place. So give yourselves a round of applause. This is your celebration. This is your party, if you like. And I think it's a pretty decent party for the team behind it as well. Although I reckon a few of them are probably thinking, we might not have had the price up high enough. So you might have just got in at the exact right time. My name's Jim Callan, and it's wonderful to be with you tonight as we continue your journey. It's probably the first big step, of course, with many of those deposits down. Now you hear more about what's to come from the people behind it and learn a bit about what's going to happen over the next couple of years before you move into this fantastic place. So it has been some sort of start for Balfour Place. There is no doubt about that. But behind every team, there has to be a leader. And for those of you who are still getting up to speed with that team behind it, Third Eye, this incredibly innovative and development company that work on that, and innovation brilliance. That is one of the tenets, one of the three pillars, if you like. There are three blokes behind it, good men as well. And you're going to hear a bit more about that journey before we get the other lads who are involved so heavily with the project team to come up and have a chat about their respective parts of the project. So as they say in my line of work, a picture does really tell 1,000 words. So have a look at the big screens wherever you're positioned here in the CBRE head office, and have a look at the team behind Balfour Place. That is Third Eye.
Third Eye Group is a diversified property, development and investment company with an enviable track record in successfully creating large-scale residential, commercial and seniors living projects throughout Australia and the UK. With a current development pipeline exceeding $2.5 billion in value, Third Eye's experience and drive to deliver outstanding communities are the key reasons for their ongoing success. Almost 20 years ago, three young men joined forces, Bob, Ron and Luke, with a single vision: to create an industry-leading property development and investment firm and make the world a better place to live, work and play in.
I remember all those years ago when we started the business, there was Bob, Ron and myself. We were 20 years old and we were passionate about property, but we had to start somewhere. Now all we could afford was a small site in regional South Australia. There was 46 apartments in a line that needed renovating. Now you had Ron, who was fantastic at his numbers, Bob with his acquisition and project delivery, and me as sales and marketing, and together we formed this strong bond and team that allowed us to create Third Eye Property. But it wouldn't have worked just on our own, and that's where our team came in. And we're very proud of the team of collaborators and innovators that we've built that share our passions with real estate development around the world.
Industry recognised for our vertical integration across all development types. Third Eye has the ability to take a development, regardless of its size and asset class, and manage the site from acquisition through to completion and ongoing management. Third Eye Group's directors and senior executive team each bring significant personal industry experience to the company. We pride ourselves on our current and past projects that have consistently exceeded the highest expectations of our joint venture partners and valued clients. Our delivery team includes a number of industry-recognised executives that have helped shape and deliver some of Australia's and the UK's largest residential and commercial projects. The divisions within the group are made up of residential, third age, commercial, specialist care and workspaces.
Fundamental to Third Eye Group is our commitment to innovative brilliance. Innovation in the way that we acquire our sites, the way that we design them and deliver them. We need to be innovative, and that's something that we're committed to and passionate about. Now, brilliant in the way that people look at our projects, the way that they're finished by our building partners, the way that they experience them when they live, work and play. That sense of brilliance is something that we're passionate about, and it's key to the success of Third Eye in our projects. Our commitment to combining those two elements is going to allow us to create an ongoing legacy of projects that we're going to be proud of, that's going to help us deliver on that vision of making the world a better place than when it was when we started the Third Eye journey, and that's something that we're really excited about.
Co-founders of Third Eye, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't have to worry about the last little bit because he's going to tell you himself. And I should, it was remiss of me to say, there's many people here tonight, and that's evidence of what you're now on with this Balfour Place. But many are at home, they can't be here with us tonight. So a big welcome to everyone watching online. Such is the interest. Now we get your big welcome, Racer. How are you?
Fantastic. Well, look, where that video cut out, it broke at a very important part, and particularly for the enormous amount of support that we've got from people that have bought or paid a deposit to secure a property.
Penthouse, you're in.
Hey, Michael. And, you know, the reality is that innovative brilliance is something that we have built the business on. And for people that are buying at Balfour Place in Lindfield, you should understand that innovation is going to be an integral part of the design, of the level of finish. You're going to love how future-proof the product is for people to buy it, age in place, own it and love it. And brilliance represents the feeling that you get when you buy a Third Eye product. You need to have a sense of brilliance about the level of finish, the way that we've given you that journey as the project's been delivered. So they're two things that we're passionate about, and in this day and age with developers and builders, we thought having our key consultants up on the stage are important with us, because we often say it's the DNA in our projects that make them award winning, and it's not just about Third Eye or our amazing partners PPI, Phoenix Property Investors, a major real estate investment fund that is supporting this development. It's about these guys to the left of me, and I suppose, you know, to throw to them, Jimmy.
Well, I should welcome them firstly. I think that you stole my thunder, so I better actually welcome them. On your immediate left is Ben Pomeroy, of course, the man with the design skills, who is now leading the team both inside and out. Alongside him from Growth Built, we have Colin Rahim and his partner Matthew Davies, and then right on the edge, David, Mr. CBRE, for those who don't know him, David Milton. So please put your hands together for our panel, ladies and gentlemen, who are with us here tonight. But before we do move on to Ben and the men who are now behind this great build, to your team, Third Eye, and let's be fair, because one of them, we learned a little bit about the team there online, but one's now watching in London because there's another project that you're heading up over there. These two blokes from Gunnedah and one from Sydney who had a dream 20 years ago are now living it out literally on the global stage. He's sitting in London, so g'day Ronnie, good to see you. And I know you are absolutely filthy because you think you sold them too cheap, because they all sold out in 72 hours. Did you sell them too cheap or not?
Well, look, you know, sometimes, and yeah, I know there's a number of buyers in the room. I know there's a number of people that have paid a deposit with the hope that they're going to get to buy one that maybe missed out on the weekend. I think we got the balance right. But rest assured, if you don't go ahead, the price is going up.
Is that right?
And
really?
Oh, look, you know what? The balance with this game that we're in is the market continually moves, right? And Lindfield is one of those parts of the lower North Shore of Sydney. There's been a chronic undersupply of luxury apartment living is what we're building. And I think it's reflective in the fact that we've sold so many on the launch weekend. And, you know, you've got people that do their own research, that they're quite willing to do that. And whether we sold them too cheap or not, if the price goes up, good on you. You've earned that equity on completion. We've got the best team to deliver it. And, it's getting hard. Like you'll hear about tonight, the build pricing to try and actually build these things is challenging. To try and acquire them and deal with community groups to get them approved is even more challenging than that. So I think that all adds to the layers of value that we create by buying and building and selling things off the plan. And that's what tonight's about, is to talk about the product, congratulate those guys that have managed to secure one, well done. And for the people that do want to buy one, we've got some of the, great opportunities if these existing buyers don't go ahead.
All right, so we'll hear more about that, and I know you'll jump in between the panellists as well. But Ben, from Rother Lomond, the award-winning Rother Lomond, who have now got the job to turn that wonderful model that we've been looking at over there into reality, and I bet you can't wait to get your hands on it, Ben. Just give us an idea of why this particular project to you is so special, and what are the real special advantages you get to work with. I believe the views, for instance, particularly looking out west, is one of those things.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that, and thanks for having me along tonight. All the members of our team here tonight, I guess that's probably one of the points that Luke made earlier on, is about the team. And I think one of the key approaches to the way we took it is the inside and the outside. So we're the architects, the interior designers, no one part of that is over and above the other. And it's about getting that balance between the two and the strength of both. So I'm a Lindfield local myself, so this has been a project that's been quite near and dear to me. It's something I have to drive past every day, so I shouldn't have said that. The builders will know I'm past every day. But I think the idea of living in Lindfield is about, you've got that perfect balance between you're close to the city, but you're actually living in the forest. So where the site's located, you're on the crest of the hill, you're looking out over the forest and the tree canopy, and really what we tried to do was to try and take all those aspects of the natural landscape, but then also bring in why people always move to Lindfield in the first place, which are these manor homes, big landscape gardens. All that we're doing here, as you've seen from the imagery, is elevating that garden up in the sky. So you really are getting the best of both worlds in terms of living in a beautiful landscaped setting that everyone moves to this part of the North Shore for, but at the same time, shouting distance from the train station, the convenience of what's downstairs. It's downstairs, but it's away and separate. And I think that's kind of one of the key points that I think we really worked really hard with a full design team on, in terms of creating this elevated garden that allows a way for you to separate yourself from the Coles if you want to be away, but it's just there if you need it. So that balancing act is really important.
Look, that was spectacular views. Looks absolutely beautiful. So that is a space for everyone to use, and you're making the absolute best of that view as well.
That's it. It's an extraordinary space. I think your uninterrupted views all the way down to the end of the Sydney Basin, the Blue Mountains off to one side, and then you're looking down to the Lane Cove River, the National Park, and so you'll be able to see probably 2 lots of fireworks from that position, I'd say. Olympic Park, Parramatta, and then probably part of the city as well. So, no, it's such an extraordinary outlook and aspect, and something you don't get.
Well, I guess let's drill it down for people in their own particular apartments. Is the whole thing about look good, feel good, and that's your job. You're definitely going to make them feel good about what they're going to see inside.
No, that's it. And I think the way we always talk about the way we approach designing these apartments is it's pretty simple. It's places for people to live in. So it is about the tactile, the things you touch and feel every day. And so you kind of see with the outside of the building is all natural materials. The inside is the same thing. In the same way that our interiors team pulled together the two different, the typical colour schemes you'd see, dark and light. That's not the way we think it should be done. It's about texture and materiality. So you've got the Brescia scheme, which is kind of a lighter natural stone, and the alloy. And that really means that there's no good scheme, bad scheme. They're both just different ways that people want to live, but they're all about the tactility, the materials you can live and touch every day. That's about living in luxury.
Can I you mentioned the Coles, and let's go there, because basically you've got a providor below you and a sommelier in a way, because you're going to have access to a bottle, but you want that to work seamlessly into what you've designed as well.
You do. I mean, the practical technicalities of it are all part of what we work with our engineers and growth bit, our contractor on. But really, thematically, the way we've tackled is you've got this beautiful landscaped garden entrance from one part of the site, and the Coles has its own entrance separate to that. So the separation and the connection is really the key balancing act here. The idea of having that Coles downstairs is it's one of the biggest Coles will be in the area, or on the whole North Shore. It's double the size of what's there, so anyone who is a local who's been to the store at the moment, it's a completely different level where Coles are taking it to in terms of the offer And it is a Providore. That's their new fit-out style and design, integrated cafe inside the supermarket. So it's not the old Coles box you would have seen from years gone by. They're really pitching it as a Providore style space.
So I take it no need for a pantry. Just head downstairs every afternoon.
No, well, Conrad, who's our interior designer, he might be a bit upset with those beautiful pantries he did design, but yes, there's a big one downstairs.
Well, let's talk about the build and the men behind it with Growth Built with Colin and Matthew with us. Matthew, I'll start with you, mate. You've got to work in, of course, with the architect. This is a team. You're given the design, but you have to actually make sure it's seen out.
Oh, absolutely. And we've thrown everything at this project. Working alongside Rothy Lowman, we've worked with Rothy Lowman across several projects, quality projects, and delivered really well, high quality kind of finishes and the detail you'd expect around that. So we've thrown everything at it. So we've got project managers, site managers, design coordinators, all working to deliver this project. And being involved in an early phase of this kind of stage of contract is really beneficial. It's beneficial because you can deliver the quality, the buildability, and everything you need to deliver a high quality and top-end product at the back end. So we've got trade contractors that we're engaging with, bringing into the fold, understanding the kind of challenges around the build and the dig and the kind of the detail around development of this intricate building. We've got our own company, Think Factor, the joinery company that have done a display suite, so we're across all of the details that's happening, so that whatever you see on those renders is going to come to life.
Probably a joint question with yourself, Colin, as well, is I'm sure many of us in the room have seen the stories and we understand the difficulties, the challenges that are faced, maybe big builds at the moment, and we've seen some of the reports of those that perhaps unfortunately haven't got it quite right, and with building supplies and everything else. Can you just give us an idea where it sits now for you guys, because you've got so many years of experience, reliability experience in this phase, and knowing what the environment that you're walking into ahead of this project?
I think there is a lot of concern out there in the market, and I think the smart thing that Third Eye has done is engaged us early on as a partner, as an ECI, where we're actually working through the cost together, working through the design together, working through the risks, so we de-risk the project. So I'm thinking here, I'm just looking around, we've done such a good job, I think, between all parties, including all our consultants, and David's done a great job. We're sold out. I hope the rain stops so we can start. So really, honestly, what I mean to say is the way we've actually, it hasn't been tendered in a traditional way where you go out to 4 different builders, they give you the best price, and you start, and that builder's lumped with that risk. We're actually working through it. We're working through the numbers. And again, like what Maddie spoke about, we've been in the business for 17 years. This is our bread and butter. This is what we concentrate on. High-end luxury development. And if you look at our portfolio, a majority of it is on the lower North Shore, in the North Shore. And we've only been able to do that by building very, very close relationships with our consultants, with our suppliers, and with our subcontractors. So we've got partners along that whole supply chain, how we're going to actually deliver it. That's how we manage the risk. And the other way is we're quite transparent with all our partners.
And, the big thing when we chose, we had at least 6 builders put forward a proposal to build this. You've got Coles and you've got luxury residential apartments, and we're really thrilled. I've admired what Colin and Peter and his team have built over the years. We've never got to build with these guys, and this is the one that we're going to team up and do something special. And it's the after settlement care, and whether you want to touch on that,
yeah,
guys,
definitely.
That's what we were really excited about, is their proposal to cover off on that period of time when they settle and how we're going to manage any little defects that pop up.
Look, for us, we're very passionate about what we deliver. The people that work with our business, our team, are also even more passionate. We've got the right people working on the project. They understand the complexities. They understand what we're going to deliver. We've just recently, I'm not answering the question, but I'm going to get there. We're just about to finish a project with Rothy Lowman right now. We've gone through the same process, so Ben knows. Our passion is to deliver that design intent. That has been a good D&C builder. That's how we've built our brand. And we know we can only grow as a business if we keep on doing this. But for us, for me, I work backwards, and I try to pass this on to my team. Our most important client is the actual buyer, is the actual purchaser. That's the market. That's who we're building for. So for us, our real relationship in this whole process starts 6 months out from completion, where my customer care team comes in and we start working to minimise any defects, so we can actually, hand on heart, look at at the end user and our clients and say, hey, we're aiming for zero defects. And if there are those minimum defects, we're there. We're on site. We've got a team for the next 3 months, and I've got my customer care team there for the next 2 years and 7 years under legislation. So for that's part of our business, and we've been doing it, again, like I said, for the last 17 years. And I think, Matt, you can talk about the whole design process and how we minimise any of those defects. So we've got that quality build.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a design management process that's hand in hand with the architects to ensure that all of those design deliverables are met. Design deliverables in terms of our CC milestones, our CC being the construction certificate to build. So under the legislation at the moment, you need to be fully coordinated. Everything needs to be for construction, unchangeable documentation before you get to site. So the design process is extremely stringent. And we have a design team in-house that will manage that process alongside Ben and his team to ensure that every detail is captured, every detail, not only in line with the legislation, but in line with our quality procedures as well, are captured and delivered on site. And the same team that we have that go through this early contractual involvement that we have at the moment will be on site, so they take all that information and IP with them through the process.
Yeah, and look, just to add, I've got an outstanding team on my side. So you've got a good builder, a great builder. Then you've got a fantastic independent site superintendent. So we actually outsource that and get a third-party company involved. And then I've got Adam, our construction manager, and Anna, who you would have seen in the video, our development manager. And all these layers just allow us to absolutely nail the intent, so that when we get to the end of it, we don't have any issues. And that's the idea, is we want happy customers, because like Colin said, my next buyer will be you guys, or will be your friends and family that you talk about the outstanding experience that you had and how beautiful the apartment is that we've finished. So it's really encouraging to hear that, and we're really putting a lot of effort into that, particularly with the changes to the industry and the legislation about getting things absolutely right before we start construction.
Now, before we get to Dave, who's sitting out on the wing, you know, he's ready to charge, I know. He's ready to go. This is the easiest sell of your life, David. I don't even know why we need you, mate, in some regards. But we'll get to you in a moment. Ben, just back to you for a moment, because I really do get the sense between yourself and Growth Built, this is like a professional, not a one-off, but certainly an opportunity to do something literally in your backyard. You do not want to make sure you get anything wrong in this, because you're going to be seeing it, like you said, and because it's so part of your professional life, that's a really key part of making sure that it's absolutely first class.
Yeah, look, it really is, and I think the way the changes in the Building Act have come out in New South Wales, it's really is about inspiring people's confidence back in the industry, because it had been dented over many years. I think for people to be not surprised by that. But I think what it's really encouraging, and the way it is going to work out really well, is it's teamwork. It's not just one person being responsible for everything anymore. It's about a team and a collaborative effort. And I think the way that we've done that with Growth Built recently and successfully settling a bunch of apartments for that particular client was the teamwork the whole way through, the communication. And I think that strength in that collaborative spirit and the way that Third Eye is tackling as well is really what's going to give people confidence in terms of what we've drawn, I always talk about what we design as the promise. It's the promise to people. It's the promise to the local community, promise to our clients, the promise to the end people who are going to live there, and that promise can then be delivered upon. Yeah,
and Arcadia, I know we keep going back to that rooftop, but it looks absolutely spectacular, but that is indeed how it's going to play out. But you're working hand in glove with an absolutely fantastic landscape team.
Well, this is it. I guess these are proper gardens for the homes. They're not apartments. They're homes in the sky. It just happens to have one of the largest parks in that part of Lindfield. I think it's actually bigger than some of the local parks. And so the fact that that's just there for the exclusive use of all the residents meant that it was a pretty good brief for the team and at Arcadia to really get their teeth stuck into and really extend the natural landscape of Lindfield around the apartments.
Dave, let's go to you, mate. This is your moment.
My moment. Shine,
look, we talked about it at the top. These guys have got a steal, haven't they? Because it was sold out in, a little over 72 hours. It made the news, it made articles online. Yeah. Everyone knows they're involved in something pretty decent here.
Listen, can I just say congratulations to everyone that bought and welcome. What I want to say is, welcome to CBRE's office. The purpose of the night is actually to get to know the team and also to ask any questions and be more familiar, because I know this actually happened really quickly. And when I say quickly, like Colin says, he worked on the project for 12 months or 6 months. We've been working on 12 months. There's been an enormous amount of effort going into the design, the refinement of design. And all I know is we sell apartments, but these apartments, they furnish well. They'll be very livable. They've got great storage, kitchens that work. I'm not the genius on interiors, but practically they're great apartments. And what we saw, as I've seen before, when this comes together, you get this type of sales result because it's the buyers that speak, in a sense. So that all happened really quickly. This night's about, first of all, saying congratulations on a great purchase. I think you've all bought because you know it's a good buy. We're seeing prices going up. We're seeing building costs going up. We're seeing jobs that'll be stalled because the building costs have gone up beyond the values. You've bought something here that'll be delivered, and you've got a team to deliver it, and that's a really big thing. But I'd like to just, rather than sort of talk about the market or anything else, say we're here, and my team are here. I'll just get my team to put up their hand if they would. We're here to answer any questions and help you further with anything that you have. We welcome you, and the team here the same. We've worked very closely independently while we're all here together. We've worked with Rothy Lohmann separately. This is our 4th project with Third Eye. Growth Build have built, I think, 4 or 5 clients, which is probably about 8 projects they've built for us. Well, not for us, but for our clients. So we highly recommend them as CBRE. And what I'd like to say, it's really hot here, and I think everyone's sitting down and gets... But I'd like to say we're all here to answer questions and to help you. And even after this tomorrow, if there's anything that you need from the team, from me, reach out, because we want to make... You know, you're very comfortable in your saying your decision, but you'll have probably lots of questions, and we want to be able to answer them for you and make sure that you have the level of comfort, you're happy with your purchase. And then the final thing I'll say is we have this after-sales service that we keep you informed. When you buy something off the plan, it's a little bit of a journey. You'd say you might be selling a house, you might be arranging finance. This is the start of that journey. We have a team that looks after you afterwards, and I say in that they look after you, answering your questions, keeping you up to date, keeping you informed of progress, helping you when you're choosing finishes, all the practical stuff, you're getting towards completion, inspections, settlement, all of that. We're there right through then to handing over them when we get involved with organising any maintenance, any items that... And a building's never defect-free. Colin told me he'll do one, but it never happens. But the ability to say, well, we're responsible to make sure things are fixed is a big thing, and I want to emphasise that because that's one of the things that you're going to get from this team. And also the communication and the systems or processes to be able to do that. So, again, congratulations to everyone that's purchased. Anyone that's here to interested in purchasing, again, we're very happy to help you. So everyone enjoy a drink and have a good night. Thank you.
Indeed, folks. We're not too far away from wrapping things up because we don't want to make sure you enjoy the wonderful hospitality and also come up and meet the gentlemen behind the project and their wider team, of course. That is why we are here tonight, for you to learn more about it. But they're going to ask one very big question, I reckon, Dave, and that is, this market is a little bit funky at the moment. What has just happened last weekend at Lindfield has probably defied what has happened in recent weeks around Sydney. So it just underlines the strength of this project.
Jump in. It hasn't defied. What's happened, we've had this... I've been selling apartments for 25 years, and this is the beginning of an upturn in the cycle. You've got the housing market that's absolutely gone ballistic. Freestanding houses, attached cottage. The median house price in Sydney in the last year has grown 29%. Apartment median house price has grown 8.9%. The gap now between the median house price and unit price is about 80%. It's never been bigger. And what's happening now, even in the Domain today, they're talking about rents going up in apartments at a faster rate than houses. Apartments play catch up. So you've bought in at the bottom of the cycle. There's a few other things, not to bore you, but we have a vacancy rate in Sydney now of 1.9%. And it's actually a horrible statistic because it means we are so underhoused. Rents are going to go up. They're going to go up enormously. People are going to be trading from a larger house to a smaller house. People are going to trade from housing apartments, which is all good stuff from an investment. This is going to help with your investment, but the pressures are enormous, and we're about to see it. And I'll tell you, from the point of view, if fortunate enough to buy real estate, it's a great position to be in, because it's actually, this is the beginning of an upward cycle. And then what's also happening, we had the CBA here last week talking to our commercial area. Inflation on building costs. They separate out inflation on rents, interest rates, all this stuff, petrol. Inflation on building costs is running at about 17%, which is what it is. There's supply chain issues, there's delivery issues, there's trade issues, there's the floods that are taking trades here everywhere, there's all these things. So again, it feeds back into real estate, and what's going to happen in real estate is going to get a lot more expensive to deliver. And when you buy off the plan, you buy at today's value, you're going to settle and you're going to have greatly increased value. And that's the benefit of buying off the plan. I love it because it's sort of, if you get it, it's an easy sell. But that's where we're at. And I'll tell you, when immigration starts, there's going to be more pressure on rentals. There's going to be rents going up. There's going to be more. It's a start of a cycle with great increase in price. That'll be the outcome.
You sure there's not one left? You've talked me into it. There's a little one better. There's somewhere in there in those 59s that I can just get on. I'm sold.
What about a car park?
I'd probably afford that.
Anyway, everyone, that's my bit, so there.
There, mate, that's a lot of plenty good free advice. Luke, I'll let you round things out because it's been a special night, but I know people want to come up and have a chat with you guys personally.
Well, look, firstly, thank you for coming tonight. I don't think we picked the best night weather-wise. And I appreciate that people have made an effort to come down. You know, we would have questions from the floor, but the reality is that there's most probably a lot of different questions that are unique to you individually. So come up to us after and seek us out. And really, there's my business partners in the room. My team have been outstanding. If you need any questions about Third Eye, they're over here, Callum and Katie. The PPI guys, the company that actually underwrites this whole thing is here tonight. And for Sam and his team, you know, fantastic vision on this site. We are going to work as hard as we can to deliver something outstanding for the people that are lucky to buy one. And I know there's a bit of pressure for you guys to line your ducks up with your solicitors. The reality is that we've got an enormous wave of interest that's behind you. So I would encourage you to work with your solicitors, understand what your obligations are with an exchange, because we would hate for you to miss out because clearly there's not enough apartments in Lindfield.
All right, team, that wraps up the formalities. Certainly not the night, definitely not the hospitality. So kick back, relax, enjoy. Meet the neighbours, the potential neighbours as well, but come on and meet the team as well. It's wonderful to have your company. Congratulations for those who are on the Balfour Place journey. Great to have your company tonight.
Thank you, guys.